Listen, we just talked about this the other day about the Orlando Magic. So Toronto scored 31 unanswered points against Orlando, the largest unanswered run in the play-by-play era, breaking a record held since 2023. So Scottie Barnes had 23 points and a career high 15 assists. Orlando turned the ball over 12 times in the first quarter alone. Matthew, is this the moment the Magic season officially just went off the cliff?
Bro, some of those turnovers, I was watching the game. I had it on League
Oh,
Pass.
you're watching it live while it was happening.
Well,
I caught the highlights.
I saw somebody tweeting about it or putting on threads about it, so I threw it on, like during the run. I mean, it might have been a 17-0 run, and I threw it on, and I saw it get to 31. And it was some of those turnovers the Magic were committing were those turnovers where you say, this coach is going to get fired because these guys aren't even trying. It was the kind of turnovers. There was a game I saw in the tournament the other day, and I can't remember who it was, but it was man, I saw one where they were just turning over, and that's what the Magic looked like. No, it was the Grizzlies. I was watching the Grizzlies play, I think the Spurs the other day, and the way they were just coughing it up every time, not getting back on defense. You say, okay, this might be a young coach. He might be, a hot shot, whatever, because the Grizzlies coach is from Finland. I know I'm getting off topic, but he might be an international hot shot. But once players start turning the ball over like that, it's like they're not playing for the coach anymore. And I was seeing those kind of turnovers from the Magic, even amongst guys that are like usually disciplined, like Jalen Suggs, who like kind of make their bones on being disciplined, smart, fundamental players.
Bless you.
They were all turning that thing over. And Mamu, who I remember from his San Antonio days, I can't pronounce his whole name. Mamu Shavelli. They say it Mamu Kashavelli, but they all call him Mamu. He was just getting rim runs. They were making Mamu look like Hakeem Olajuwon out there, man. The way he was just getting to the rack and dunking it because they were just turning it over and he was getting free runs at the rim. And I just don't know what happened to these guys. They're 39 and 35. They obviously just got their ass kicked in this game, gave up the 31-0 run. At the beginning of the season, they looked like, I'm not saying they were world beaters, they were championship contenders, but they looked like a team that was going to make it to the second round, be like a young core that had something to build on, that maybe it was going to take their licks in the playoffs, but had something real to build on. But the shooting, maybe the last 10 to 15 games has been abysmal. They don't have anybody, especially with Franz Wagner out with injury. They don't have anybody that can consistently make the three, that the defenses respect. You got like at least three players out there at any given time that the defense can sag off of, including your best player, Paulo Banchero. But that doesn't have to kill you, but what's killing them is they just gave up. I mean, they were just throwing the ball back over. And when you're trading 2-pointers for 3-pointers, you can't be coughing that ball up. And they were just throwing it right to Toronto. Because, I mean, some of those steals were, some of those steals are from the guards, but Mamu, the big man, was getting some of those steals. And so when you have like a big man going in there, reaching in, taking your cookies, that's how you're just not really playing hard. I mean, that was embarrassing, man. I mean,
so let me ask you this, Matthew. And this is a little bit off topic, but we're gonna bring it back, right? Which one's worse? Those 19 turnovers just in the first quarter alone,
Jesus,
or I'm sorry, 12. I meant to say 12. 12 turnovers. Or Cam Boozer's turnover with 2 seconds left in Duke against UConn.
Hey, that happens every year in March Madness. Cam Boozer's a college kid. It's although, was it him or was it Caden?
It was Boozer.
Yeah, they're both Boozer. They're both Boozer.
But Cam Boozer. Which one? Was that Cam or?
It's the hot prospect. I think it was.
Let me see which one was it.
I'm pretty sure it was the one that's not. It was the one that's not the hot prospect. And I'm pretty sure Cam's the hot prospect. No, it was Caden. I'm pretty sure. I would bet dollars to donuts that it was Caden. Yeah, it was the brother. It was the brother Caden.
His brother. Okay.
And so he's not the big prospect, but here's the deal.
Yeah,
Here's the deal.
Yep.
We see that kind of stuff like every year, in college. I remember Jerry McNamara, the guy that just got hired to be Syracuse head coach. I remember him going ice cold for Syracuse in the tournament, then coming out after the game, kind of like Caden did, and say, I cost my team the game. So, every year in March Madness, you're going to have a young hotshot that's going to struggle, that's going to make a dumb mistake. But we're talking about NBA players. We're talking about the Orlando Magic, a team that's potentially going to play in the National Basketball Association playoffs, being on pace for 48 turnovers after the first quarter. And some of those turnovers, just a lack of effort, just nothing. And they were just giving dunks to Mamu. Mamu scored 19 points. I swear the whole time he was in San Antonio, besides that one game, because he had one game where he randomly had 30. You take out that game, I don't know that he scored 19 points the whole time he was in San Antonio. So
are you telling me that Jamal Mosley, the head coach, is probably going to be fired within the next 30 days?
I think when they start playing that way, it was. I haven't watched a whole lot of Magic, and I don't want to be putting coaches on the hot seat left and right. The coach for the Grizzlies, the Finnish gentleman that coaches the Grizzlies, I think he's out for sure before the end of next year. Jamal Mosley, I'm not sure because they were overachieving at first. They look good. Now they've fallen off a cliff, but I would say that seat's getting a little warmer to where he's having to stand up a couple times because it's starting to burn. That seat's getting a little warm because some of those turnovers were just complete lack of effort turnovers. And I know what that looks like because I've been watching the Sacramento Kings all year. So I know what lack of effort turnovers look like. Yeah. And the Magic committed, like in that, of those 12, like 8 or 9 of them were just like, oh, I don't give a shit turnovers.
Well, look at this. So when you go back and watch it, right? It wasn't even really a hot shooting streak that the Raptors forced. Shooting streak. The Raptors forced like 12 turnovers during that run and turned them into 19 points. That's like a defensive avalanche. Orlando's problem is structural. They're bottom tier in 3-point volume, so every possession feels like they're trying to score in a phone booth. They've now lost 7 of 8, dropped to the 8th seed, staring down a playing game against the Sixers team that just got healthy. That's like a nightmare matchup.
Hey, look at this. If you're going to be a team that don't make 3-pointers, you better play some defense. Look what the Raptors. The Raptors shot 57% from the field, 45% from 3. I mean, you can't win when a team's playing like that. Those are like 2K numbers. I mean, I could put on 2K right now and maybe not shoot 57.4% for the game. Right. I mean, that's on easy mode right